I mean, I might be having a very mild allergic reaction. I'm not quite sure. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're doing well. As you can see from the title, today I will be trying out and unboxing the Wild Natural Deodorant. I've got the box here. I got it in the mail the other day. I believe it's quite a new brand. It's UK based. I'm fairly new to natural deodorants, but their mission is to kind of shake up the throwaway culture of beauty products and mainly deodorants. So this is the deodorant that I've used for years. When I still lived in the Netherlands, this was from the brand Rexona. In the UK, the brand is called Sure. I'm pretty sure it's the exact same brand though, but just a different name. And as you can see, plastic containers. I go through a couple of these a year, lots and lots of waste, and I've been trying to find little ways to be more sustainable. I've never been too sure about natural deodorant, and I'll tell you why. This is so far the only deodorant that's been really working for me. I am a bit of a sweaty person. Ever since I got into puberty, I struggled quite a bit with finding a good deodorant that worked for me. I feel like my skin doesn't agree well with certain perfumes in like body products, because it's not just deodorants, but sometimes like body lotions and stuff, just the smell reacts weird with my skin. I always struggled finding a good deodorant for me. Also, as I said, I am a sweaty person as well. This deodorant is a, let me see that I'm saying this correctly, a 96-hour antiperspirant. I still get sweat patches even wearing this. I've learned to live with the fact that I'm going to be sweating. I think a lot of people that know me won't actually know, because I've learned how to dress. I've learned to look out for like certain colors, certain fabrics. So I've learned to live with the fact that sweat patches is going to happen if I don't wear the right clothes. So I'm a bit hesitant to try out natural deodorants, because obviously they are made without all the nasties that kind of keep back the sweat. Whatever protection this is giving me, I'll lose that. And also in terms of smell, I'm not sure how well natural deodorants actually work. When I've looked at natural deodorants before, I never really found one that was so sustainability focused in its packaging. And what I really liked about Wild is that they use a refillable case and the refills are completely biodegradable, so you cut back on your waste a ton. This is the box I got. I will do a little unboxing in this video, and then I'm gonna try this out, see if it works for me, and kind of take you along on the journey, hopefully switching over to natural deodorant and I won't have to go back to normal deodorant, but we'll see. So this is what the box looks like. I'll open it up for you. There is two little cards in the box. I've seen reviews on this, and one of the girls pointed out that this could have been an email, didn't really have to be in this box, and I do agree with that, but it is made from recycled paper and stuff, so take from that what you will. And then when you open the box, it basically looks a little something like this. You've got various colors in terms of the case. I went with the lilac one, and then there's also a bunch of different scents. The scents I went for are Rose Blush, Bergamot Rituals, and then Coconut Dreams. I think these are all quite subtle scents. They're not too overpowering, which is perfect for me. I'm quite sensitive to scents and smells. Some scents give me migraines, so for me that's perfect. So far, from what I can tell, I think Coconut Dreams will be my favorite. It's just really just lovely. So it's single-use plastic, aluminium, and cruelty free. Now there is aluminium in the case, but that's reusable. So they are talking about the actual deodorant refills. I think that's quite important to note, but as I said, you will hopefully be able to use the case forevermore. So yeah, I don't think that's a massive issue. So this is what the refill looks like. It's just a little container, looks like this. I'll show you the back as well so you can see. And it just has a lid that comes off really easily, and then it has the product inside. And then this is what the case looks like up close. It's quite lightweight, but probably be heavier once you put the refill in. It looks like this. And then you've got 2 buttons on the side here, which you need to press. Hopefully this will work. Jesus. Am I doing this right? I feel like mine's really tight. There you go. So yeah, it's a bit fiddly to get it out. Pop this on like so, slide it back in, and then your deodorant is in there, and then you've got to twist it up a couple of times so it comes out, and then you're good to use it. I'll be using this one for the next couple of weeks at least. They do kind of, it's not a warning, but I've had a lot of people go through a little transition period, so we'll see what my body does, because obviously that's kind of what I'm worried about, that it's not going to work for me. If I do have a transition period, I want to push through and really give it a good bit of time. They say the transition can take like 2 weeks. I'm thinking probably like 2 weeks to a month. So yeah, we'll see. But I'll film a couple of updates if I've got anything to say in between. And then at the end of this video, I'll come back and I'll tell you my overall thoughts. So I'm really excited to try this. I'm really hoping it works. If you've tried natural deodorants before, please do let me know your experiences with them down below, and give this video a thumbs up if you are excited to find out how this works. And yeah, I'll check back in with you in a little while. Hi everyone, so this is a week into using my natural deodorant. I'm definitely going to say the first couple of days were a bit touch and go. I don't actually know if I smelled bad, but I could definitely like smell something. I didn't expect that to happen the first couple of days, because that happened the first like 3 days or so. I thought I'd have a couple of days where it would be fine, then the detox starts and like the transition period, if that would happen, and then I'd be fine. But what happened to me, first 3 days were a bit iffy. We're now a week in, a week and a day, I think, and I feel fine. Not even that sweaty, so that's also great. I mean, it is winter, so, well, it's not winter, but I feel like in Scotland it is winter once you get to October basically, so yes, it's a bit colder outside, so I'm not that sweaty at the moment. I'll show you one thing though that I've noticed. So this is the case, as you will remember. This might be a bit gross for some people, but I'm going to show it anyway. As you use it, the product comes out the top. Mine is kind of crumbled on the side, which is not a big deal, but I thought I'd show you anyway. So if you can see here, this bit here has not come out properly, so it kind of stayed behind, and this is what it looks like after a week of use. With any roll-on deodorant, it will get a bit messy, a little bit gross, and you can just wipe it down if you want to. It doesn't really bother me that much, so that's the only thing that I've noticed. I'm using the rose blush scent at the moment. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of the floral scents. I am going to work my way through them, because I'm not going to throw things away if they work. Obviously you do smell like quicker, because the deodorant I was using was like a 3-day wear one, so if I'd forgotten in the morning to put on deodorant and would go by my day, I would not smell. With this one, you can't do that. But yes, so far it's not been bad, so I'll check back in with you very soon. Alright, so it is April now, so I have been testing the Wild deodorant for quite a few months now. So today I'm coming to you with more than 4 months worth of testing this. I hope I'm saying that right. I started using it in November. Yeah, I think that's correct. So I've been using it for a long time, and I feel like I've got some things to say. Let me start off by saying that overall, I do think this natural deodorant works relatively well. You know, I do feel like I need to reapply it, and it doesn't make me feel as secure as my regular deodorant would, but I guess that's to be expected from a natural deodorant, so I'm not really taking marks off for that one. Overall, when people ask you, does it work, and what you see the influencers say on Instagram, short answer, yes. I think so. Let's go a bit deeper than that. Now, first of all, on that point, I do feel like I need to wash my tops after one day of wearing them. And I'm not sure how I feel about that, because with my previous deodorant, I could rewear my tops a couple of times before they need a wash. And now, after a day, it definitely has a smell to it, and I feel like I need to wash it. That means that I'm washing my clothes a lot more often than I used to, and I'm not quite sure how that works in terms of being more sustainable. Is it worth for me to be mindful of the product wastage if I'm not being mindful about my water wastage? If you know, and if you can give me advice on that, then please do leave it in the comments below, because I'd really like to figure that one out, because in my head it doesn't really make sense. And also because I'm washing my clothes more often, I kind of expect them to wear out more quickly than before. So yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that one. That's definitely a con to me. So next thing, let's talk about armpit stains, because that was another big ticket item for me to switch over to natural deodorant. They say that if you don't use too much, or don't apply too much of the natural deodorant, it shouldn't stain your clothes. I do think it stains clothes. Like, if you put clothes on, it will like create the white stripes on your t-shirt or whatever. And also when you're wearing it, and maybe I'm using too much, but I feel like I need to make it work for me. But I do get stains in the armpit area. I do have to say, I recently washed a white t-shirt, and before I washed it, I put it in a little like pre-wash like Vanish. It's not Vanish I use, it's like the cheap Tesco version of Vanish, and that got the stains completely out, but I think that would get other stains out as well, so yeah, I'm not sure. So next up is scents. Now, I've tried 3, and I didn't quite like Rose Blush. It had kind of like a weird after smell to it. I can't describe it, but they've also discontinued that one, so I'm guessing that more people had that issue. I mean, they're all so subtle that you don't really smell any difference when you've got them on, I don't think. So a little bit about the application. It applies really smooth. I think the Bergamot Rituals is the smoothest of the 3 that I've tried. It's not that sticky, although the bergamot one, because it's so smooth when you apply it, it can feel a little tacky when you first apply it, but overall it's very similar to the cream deodorant I was on before, so I think that gets a thumbs up from me. Next up is the longevity of the product. So this is not really the longevity on when you've got it on, but it's more about how long the cartridges last. They do last quite a long time. I never really tracked how long like my normal deodorant would last me for, but I've been using this since November, and I'm on my 3rd one. I don't know how much I've got left. I think it takes me a little bit longer than a month to get through 1 cartridge, so I think that's pretty good. And I do reapply it sometimes during the day, so that's multiple applications per day, so that's pretty good, I think. Now we're getting on to some cons. So the first con, and this is the biggest drawback for me, is that there is some irritation in my armpit area. I'm not quite sure what's causing it, but I didn't have it with my regular deodorant, and I am having it now. It's mostly itchiness. Sometimes it gets a bit red. Sometimes there are a few bumps, and I don't have this every day. I don't want you to think that I'm having an allergic reaction and I keep going. I mean, I might be having a very mild allergic reaction. I'm not quite sure. There's like a couple of days a week that after like an hour or 2 hours of me wearing it, my armpits get really itchy, and that's like the biggest drawback for me, because I need to be comfortable wearing it. I'm not sure if anyone else using Wild has had that reaction before, but yeah, that's definitely the biggest biggest drawback for me. And then last but not least, and this is also a con, but this is very nitpicky of me, so you can skip to the conclusion if you want to. So the next thing is something that bugs me a little bit about Wild, and I want to say, like, I work in marketing, so I get it, I understand, because even sustainable brands need to make money. So they've got a lot of marketing ploys in place to make you buy more than you need, I think. So they have limited edition cases, they have limited edition scents, and personally I feel like the premise of this brand is that you have one case and that should last you a lifetime. You shouldn't need, okay, maybe you need two, like one to have at home and one for in your bag or something, but you don't need a million colors of cases. And making them limited edition, you know, encourages people to buy a new one every month or every time there's like a public holiday. It's almost like that slippery slope that you get on when you want to use reusable bottles or reusable coffee cups, and every time you go out you forget to bring yours that you've got at home. So you end up buying new reusable items even though you've already got 20 of them at home. Like, how is that not wasteful? And like I said, I work in marketing. I know how much money goes into advertising and getting all those influencers to promote your item on Instagram or YouTube. Like, there's a lot of money that goes into that, so you need to make money somewhere. You know, I understand it's very clever, but it just rubs me the wrong way. So the end conclusion, we have arrived. I kind of hope that you haven't skipped through the whole video to get here, but if you did, you're still welcome here. No hard feelings, but I might disappoint you because I'm still very torn about this product. If this was a regular deodorant, then I would easily say it's not for me. It does an okay job at keeping the smell at bay, but it definitely doesn't make me feel as secure as a regular deodorant would, and the irritation I get from it is a major drawback. And the last point is what makes me lean towards not continuing to use it after I finished my last cartridge. But it is quite difficult because I'm almost like guilt tripping myself into using this product, because I do want to try and be a little bit more sustainable in places where I can be. I hope you understand where I'm coming from. I hope you understand my internal struggles I'm having right now. You know, if you've got any tips or if you have tried a different natural deodorant, then do let me know. But as of right now, I don't think it's for me, and I mean this in the best way possible. It's just when I combine the cons, I'm leaning towards a no. This is probably such a long video, so well done if you've made it this far. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up because it really helps my channel, and if you haven't subscribed already, please do, and I hope to see you next time. Bye guys.